why is green one of the best colors in Commander? Let's talk about it. So, what's up, guys? Back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. And let's just jump into it. So, the reason green, especially in lower power games, or even bracket 3, but the reason green is one of the best colors in the game is because it provides you with so many ways to ramp. And all that means is that you can play more things faster. You can play more things ahead of the curve. You can have more cards to play. You can play more expensive cards. And I mean, mana-wise. Like, green really gives you all the tools you need to get ahead of the curve when it comes to mana. And there's a handful of options. The first, of course, is your generic land ramp. Something like a 3 visits or a nature's lore that says it's 2 mana, go get a forest, put it into play. And for both of those, I don't think they come in tapped, which essentially means you paid 1 mana for that spell. But that land is something that'll be in play the entirety of the game. So, very strong, very strong. And then you have other land ramp that's like, I call them the hand fixers. Something like Cultivate or Kodama's Reach. These cards will get you an extra land into play at the cost of 1 more mana, but they also get you a land into your hand as well. And when you are able to, if you have extra mana available to you to play, or more lands to play, then you're like just setting yourself up to have your land drops in future turns. But if you don't, you're getting yourself your land drop on top of getting an extra land into play. Very effective spells. Now, these are very old school cards, but they're still good. I still play Cultivate. I still play Kodama's Reach. They're still good ramp pieces. I will say they're not played as much as they used to be. They used to be a lot stronger, but now they're still solid ramp pieces, especially for beginners, especially for people trying to figure out the best way to ramp, because there's a lot of options, truly. Green has something else that is incredibly powerful that people just don't see how strong it is, and that's a Manaador. What is a Manaador? Manaador is a card like War Elves or Elvish Mystic that will come in for typically 1 mana and in future turns can tap for a mana, essentially giving you an extra land, but also a body that can block if need be, or something like that. That's really strong. Dorks are busted, especially because there's so many of them. There's a ton, and most of them are elves, but there's other options too. Bird's Paradise, 1 mana, comes down tap for 1 mana of any color. It's a solid Manaador. There are a lot of options. There are a lot of options when it comes to Manaadors, but they're strong. Okay, they're really strong. So definitely consider playing those. And then you have other versions of creature ramp that are very strong too. I look at a card like Sakura Tribeler, and it has some double function and double utility. Here's what it can do. So Security Tribeler, I think it costs 2 mana, 1 colorless, 1 green, comes into play and is a body that can block. But Security Tribeler says sacrifice this creature and then search your library for a basic land, put it into play. A lot of people don't use this card correctly. I watch so many people just play Steve, what everybody calls Security Tribeler, and they sacrifice him and go get a land. I mean, you can do that. It's very much what the card says, and you can definitely do that. But here's the thing. This is a little bit of an advanced move, but if you're trying to also block and prevent damage from coming through, you can block and use Steve's ability at the same time. So let me give you a hypothetical. someone is swinging at you with a 4-4. It doesn't matter what. They're saying, hey, I'm going to attack you with my 4-4. And all you have is Steve or Secured Tribeler in play. You can then say, okay, in the declare blocker step, I'm going to block your 4-4 with my Secured Tribeler. And then in response, I'm going to sacrifice it and go get a basic land. Now, you would think, a lot of new players will probably think, oh, well, now he's not there, so I can't block. Now, you've already blocked in a declare blocker step. You've already blocked with Secured Tribeler. So now that you've blocked, the combat basically fizzles out because the creature's considered blocked. There's nothing for it to even... And this even works with trample. So let's say their 4-4 had trample. Steve's a 1-1, I think. I think he's a 1-1, or maybe he might be something with it too. I'm not sure, but I think he's a 1-1. Yeah, but like if they have a 4-4, and typically if a 4-4 attacks and a 1-1 is what blocks, then 3 damage would trample over. But because you sacrifice Secured Tribeler, there's nothing for that trample damage to trample over. So no damage makes through. Very strong move, and then you get to ramp as well. So if you see blocking as something potential that you would do in the next round or so, definitely hold on to Secured Tribeler until you get to that point. Don't just play him, sack him, go get a land. You definitely should be trying to get that utility out of him first. Very strong card. Very strong card. Now, there's another version of ramp that I don't advise most people use because there's just better options. But we've talked about it before, and that's artifact ramp in green. Now, I think Arcane Signet and Sol Ring are kind of shoe-ins to almost any deck, especially more than one color for Arcane Signet. But Sol Ring, any deck, you should probably be playing Sol Ring. Your deck is probably just better for having Sol Ring in the deck. Those are the 2 exceptions. But then there's a couple other ones that are worth, I guess, keeping your eye on, depending on what your deck is doing and what you're trying to cast or how much you're trying to cast. There are definitely a couple other pieces. The Great Hinge we've talked about, but that card's like crazy expensive. A lot of new players are not about to go out and pay $70 for a copy of the Great Hinge. So I don't blame you there. Card's good, and if you ever get to the point where you feel like investing in a copy, you won't regret it. It will overperform for you almost every time, but that's just what that card is. That's why it's so expensive. It's really good. But there's other ones too. Look at a card like Emerald Medallion. Emerald Medallion is it comes into play, and it doesn't tap for mana, but it reduces the cost of green spells you cast by 1 colorless. So if you cast 3 different green spells in a turn, that 1/2 mana artifact has now produced 3 mana for you. That's really good. That's really good. Okay, so taking into account all these things, you have so much access to ramp in green. You can ramp to in whatever way you see fit. You can double your mana. You can double and triple your mana. There are cards that do that. Look at a card like Nyxbloom Ancient. Look at a card like there's a card that just came out in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that adds another green when you tap a mana for a mana. That's insane. It's insane. It's a lot of ramp, guys. It's a lot of ramp. Okay, so you're like, okay, I get it, man. Green's got ramp. We knew this. Yeah, you probably did, but I think some people don't use it effectively, and they don't play enough. And some people probably play too much. I mean, if your deck is doing nothing but ramping, then you're never going to win because that's all you're doing. You need to have the game plan, but you definitely need to ramp. You definitely need to ramp. And that's why green is in one of the best colors in Commander, if not the best color, specifically for lower power decks. Anything that's a 2, a 3, probably any precon, green will perform for you every time. You're just going to have a better time because missing land drops and not having mana to play your spells is not the problem green typically has. It has other problems, not going to say it's perfect, but that is why green is one of the strongest colors in Commander. Thanks for watching, guys. Please sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Let me know what you want to see in future videos. Subscribe to see more content like this. I will be uploading daily, if at all possible. catch you guys in the next video.